What's going on, y'all? JJ back again, Retro ReWire in the hunt, still in Gunma, and we're going to be checking out a few of the more lesser known shops. Now, if you live in Japan, it's highly likely that you're aware of some of these locations, and then at the very end, we'll hit up another hard off, which I recently covered. But here we have a Yamada Denki. Now, I'm not going to go in here, but I do recommend to check this place every now and then because sometimes they have new old stock. But Treasure Factory, that's going to be the first stop. Here we have a small end cap. We got a PlayStation 5. We got the Ichiban Kuji Donkey Kong banana holder. And I think their biggest, rarest thing is going to be this PSP Dissidia, 30,000 yen. We'll have another look at it, but, 20,000 there for the OG Switch, 15,000 for the PlayStation Vita. Now, these prices are before sales tax, and this is not a tax-free shop, so keep that in mind. And they don't have a whole lot of stuff, but it looks like the very end is Kirby All-Stars, and it's coming in at 1,000 and some change. Couldn't really see the price there. Here we have a GBA, and that's coming in at 7,000 yen. And it appears to be working, as far as I can tell. We got a PS3 Super Slim, and that one was coming in at 10,000. And then just a variety of software. Now, I'm not really sure what this Psycho Pass game is, but, it's for the Xbox One. And I have seen it before, but it looks, from the looks of it, it looks to be a visual novel. And they didn't have anything super rare, but, Taito Memories here for 3,980. But every now and then, I feel I do like to check into in these shops. I think one of the better deals that I found was like a Nintendo 3DS for 2,400 yen. But here we have Among Us. Didn't catch the price there, but so we got Spider-Man for 980 yen, the PlayStation 4 version. What else do we have? New Gundam Breaker there, PlayStation 4, and as you can see, they got a few PlayStation 5 titles. We got Spider-Man 2 for 3,480. Now, I really wouldn't go, I don't really recommend going out of your way to come to these places, but sometimes you just never know what you'll find. What else do we have here? We got Biohazard, the 3D Mercenaries for 280 yen, again, before that sales tax. And then this game I always see, Battle for Money. And it always psychs me out because I keep thinking it's the Ninja Gaiden Dragon Sword because of the little spine there. Has that little weird looking dude. But here we have Fit Boxing. What else? Earth Defense Force 3. This is also available on the Switch, and that's coming in at 2,980. We got Luigi's Mansion 3 for 3,980. So again, these prices are definitely going to be in line with what you would expect to find somewhere else. Got the new Zelda game there. We got some Crash Bandicoot for 480 yen. And then what do we have here? We got the Tears of the Kingdom little Switch carrying case. And then we got a DualShock controller here for 780 in the box with the original price tag. And that was a pretty cool find. Now, I didn't pick that up because I already have one, and I definitely don't need another. Here we got Metal Gear Solid, the Legacy Collection for 3,500 yen. And then we have Metal Gear Solid 4 for 480, which includes that Blu-ray disc. And this is a Horizon there for the PS4. Then we got this PS1 game just kind of chilling, Sidewinder or whatever it's called. Real Dogfighting. But let's just keep digging through here, see what we find. And we got some J-League Prime Goal 2. I'm not sure, was that by Konami? And then one of these little Tamagotchi things. Yuki Penguin. And those things are quite common at places like this, as well as Hard Off. But here's the PSP Dissidia 20th Anniversary Edition, 30,000 yen. And, this is definitely going to be less than what you would pay in a place like Akihabara. I think I was in Akihabara today, and that'll be the next episode, but I think I saw one for like 60,000. Here we have a PS1, 4,000 yen. And then they also had the God of War DualSense Ragnarok controller. Now, I'm not really a fan of this particular controller, but it's still definitely cool to find like this limited edition stuff at a small little shop like Treasure Factory. They also had a Toys R Us, but I can't film in there simply because there's a lot of parents and their kids. But there is a second street. Now, somebody was asking about this in the comments, but I do go in here, but they never, ever, at least in my experience, ever have any games. And, you know, I asked. They didn't have anything. They just had a few toys, a few electronics, clothing, jewelry. But, you know, this is primarily a gaming channel. So if they don't have it, if they don't have the goods, then I'm not really going to be spending too much time. But I do go into these shops, you know, and if I find some games, then I'll definitely film. Here's K's Denki. That's another great place to check for modern games. But we're going to be making our way to Toy Planet. And I haven't been to this specific Toy Planet in like ever. It's going to be my first time. Or it was my first time. But there she blows, Toy Planet. And above that is like a liquor store. It's truly a place for the adult. I mean, look at this. The World Liquor System, Yamaya, and Toy Planet. But anyhow, let's go ahead and go inside. Here we have a Super Famicom little kiosk. And that's coming in at $69.80. Now you're going to be noticing a little bit of a flicker. Don't adjust your settings. I'll take care of that here. Sometimes I have to switch the shutter speed because it's so bright outside. But $17,980 for a 3DS LL. And then we got the new Nintendo 3DS Monster Hunter Edition for $17,980. And $12,980 for that 3DS LL. Now these prices are before sales tax, and I think this location is not a tax-free store. But $19,980 there for the Switch. I believe that's the OLED edition, or was that the standard? Then we got the Hyrule Edition Lite, $21,980. And my understanding is a lot of this stuff is just used. And then we have this speaker stand, the Slime, and I think this is compatible with like the 3DS or the DS, one of the two, but $2,980. I haven't seen that one before. They do have Switch titles, PlayStation 4 and 5. A lot of Nintendo stuff, as you can see. Now, this place closes at 6 p.m., and I ended up getting here like 15 minutes before closing, so I didn't have a lot of time. But I'll definitely be coming back here just to have a closer look. But in the meantime, this is what I found. $15.80 there for that Super Mario Kart. A bit sun-faded. And then we got Mario All-Stars there for the same price, $1,580. Again, before that 10% sales tax. And then, now, it was actually busy. This location was busy, and then the aisles are a bit narrow, so it was getting kind of tight in there. And what else do we have here? We got some baseball action here by Namco. But again, you know, well, here we have Donkey Kong 2001, $980. Now, the box is squashed, and this one is a bit damaged. So if you're looking for pristine stuff, this might not be the place. I mean, that cartridge, or that box had a big old hole in it. But let's see, Donkey Kong Country for the old Super Famicom, $780. Again, not the not the best condition, but still, that's not a bad price. I had a bunch of Wiimotes back there, Nintendo DS games. They had a few 3DS games as well. Again, I would have liked to have done like a little bit of a deeper dive in here, but time was limited. Now let's just keep making our way. We got some GBA cards. We got Rockman 7 there, $980 with somebody's name on it. And then Super Mario World 4, $780. $780 seems to be like the base price. They had N64 loose cards. We got Super Mario USA for $980. $780 for Super Mario 64 with the Rumble. And they also had box stuff here. Nice to see those Dreamcast games. Soul Calibur for $780. And then check out this cover, World Cup Soccer, $780. It's a pretty neat cover. They also had the baseball version, Super League. And what do we have? Shining Force here for $980. Yep, and there's the Soul Caliburs. They had two. Well, they had three of them. Look at that. What else do we got here? We got the Game of Life DX, $780. Fighting Vipers, $780, but with the Obi card. And then Fighters Mega Mix, $780. What do we got? Virtua Fighter 2 for $780. Yeah, everything seems to be coming in at $780. Now, you could find those games for less, but, you know, if you're getting the Obi card with it, and if the condition is good, you know, whatever. especially if you're paying with them dollars. Let's see, what do we have? Ridge Racer Type 4, 780. So yeah, that's kind of like the base price. Here we got a Hue card game. What do we have here? Maniac Pro Wrestling. That's kind of a cool cover. The little stick figure or ink figures doing the suplex. And then here we have the showcase. Let's see what's in here. We have some well, look at this. We got Mega Drive. We got Hellfire 7980, Bare Knuckle 2, Bare Knuckle 3 for 25,000. Metal Gear 2 for, what was that? I think it was like 35, 55 for the MSX 2 Plus. And here, you know, people were just kind of squeezing behind me. But then I found Outrun 2 SP in the stacks, 30,000. Now, at first, my heart skipped a beat because I was like, could that be 3,000? That would have been such a great find. 14,980, and for the PC Engine Mini, that's the lowest price that I've seen, by the way. Definitely the lowest. And what do we have here? Yeah, 17,980 there for the PS4 500 gig, and 13,980 for the vanilla, and 39,980 for the PS5 fat. That's definitely one of the on the lower tier that I've seen. But now we're back at the hard off in Oizumi, and if you're going by car, now I was on foot, but by car, that Toy Planet and Oizumi hard off is about a 5-minute drive, so super close, and I had no idea. But it was definitely a nice little surprise. Toy Planet. I'm going to be going to a few more out in Gunma. I've been to the one in Okinawa that's near in Saitama, that's next to the hard off, and that one also has a small gaming section. But the showcase here, you know, I was here like last week, or I'm releasing these videos like crazy, but the stock hasn't really changed. Here we got Final Fantasy VII, the 10th anniversary, 16,500 yen. And I believe that was there with the last time I was here. Burning Fight, 15,000. And I kind of want that Burning Fight Neo Geo CD. But Super Famicom. And then we got Night Strikers S, 9,000. But that I asked to see that, and it's a little bit beat. Which I believe there's a new Night Strikers game coming out along with the compilation, but Dead Rising, the original soundtrack, 1,500 yen. This was a nice little surprise. Now, I didn't pick it up, but I do love that cover. Look at old Frank West there. And we got some Jupiter Ascending. I have no idea what that is. Star Ocean, the second story, for 3,000. And yeah, so, I was looking at the soundtracks. They got Einhander for 1,100 yen. This was a nice little surprise. Now, I didn't pick this up. I do have a copy of the game, but I haven't given it its proper due. And then we have Shinobi, the Music Collection, The Legend of Joe Musashi. Now, this one has been here for years. I first saw this game when I first visited this store a few years ago, and it's still there. Still there. But these guys, they can sit on their inventory for years, as long as, some of it's moving here and there. Now, we got the Last Blade Drama CD for 330 yen. Now, I picked this up because at first glance, I was thinking it was like the soundtrack, but it's just like the drama CD. Which, I'll listen to it. See what's up. We got the Mega Drive Last Action Heroes. Look at that. Rise Star, the Shooting Star, Comic Zone. That's a nice little compilation. Monster Hunters here for 12,000 or 1,200. Not sure what the heck that is. What else do we got? We got Peach Nintendo Selection Volume 1. I have that. And then they have the Luigi Volume 3 for 1,500. That Peach Selection one is pretty cool. Pretty cool to chill to. Heat original soundtrack. And then just, all sorts of music CDs. We got Dragon Quest 4 for 1,800. And Final Fantasy X. And then we got Part 5 there for 2,000. And they had this little sampler of 10 for 220 yen. And yeah, it's kind of cool looking, I guess. The Symphonic Suite Final Fantasy, 1,000 yen. Pretty cool cover. I was kind of thinking about that one, honestly, but 1,000 yen, I think I'll hold on to that. Here we have Virtua Fighter. Now, this has some tracks from the dude that sings the Daytona USA music. And I do have a copy of that. And we got Street Fighter 2, and I don't know if this is from like the anime or what the heck's going on here. But it could be like a drama CD, I don't know. And then Macross Plus. I'm not sure if that's related to the game, possibly. Original soundtrack. And then we got the Neo Geo DJ Station Live 99. And King of Fighters 99, the drama CD. So what the heck is going on? I do like this cover to the Piano de Snoopy. Pretty clever. And then I was just checking out their junk section. We got 1,000 yen here for the disc system. There's a Famicom unit there. And then we got this little adapter for the Cube that will allow you to use PS2 controllers. And I think that Famicom was coming in at 500 yen. What else do we have here? We got some Cube controllers. Somebody else was digging through the junk, which is all good. Plenty of junk for, to go around here. We got a Dreamcast and a Famicom disk system. 6,000 for the Dreamcast. Now this little figure, there's a Game Boy and NES game based off of that little figure, which is very expensive, those games. But anyhow, guys, just a short little video. In the next one, we're going to be making another trip out to Akihabara. So stay tuned. More is on the way. Ciao.